This drug right here, cocaine, this is worth $150, $150. It's an addictive drug. Everybody use cocaine. And I got crack cocaine. You can smoke it. This is worth like 50, 30, 20. It's called K2. This is about a $15 bag. People will smoke this one. I got a bigger sack of this weed. You can find these drugs in any city in the United States that you want, as long as you want to get it. That's what I do. I make money, you know? That's what I do every day.
Basically, a lot of drugs come in from South America, through Mexico, through any other countries, that they can funnel them in through. And every time it's sold, it's stepped on or cut, or so it gets less and less and less powerful. So by the time it gets to the street level in certain towns, it's nowhere near as potent as it was when it was certainly, just brought in. The trafficking goes on all the time, and there are so many different ways. People putting it in their anus in a condom, putting it in a wooden figure that might be a souvenir. You could cut it in half, hollow it out, fill it with a baggie of cocaine or whatever, and then seal it back up, varnish it. It's a souvenir from wherever you went to. People having it run for them through what's called a mule. So you have somebody running it in. So the person who's buying it has somebody who's basically going to get in trouble for trafficking it in on a plane or whatever. So a lot of it's brought in that way, and again, it gets stepped on more and more and more as it goes. But the thing is, you can't stop it. As long as people want it. I mean, now people in America are taking Tide laundry detergent. And back in the 1950s, they snorted glue. I mean, they still do that. But anything that changes your perception. And it's such a problem all the time. And it isn't always just the drugs are going to mess you up. It's that it's all the dangerous things that go on around them. The violence, because this is money. It's business. And if you mess with it, you can get killed. Marijuana is probably the least offensive. It affects people different ways. Some people get paranoid, like the guy who stopped 6 times at one stop sign. Some people get just giddy and giggly and happy and hungry. Cocaine gives you a great burst of energy, and you just feel powerful, and you can do anything, and your confidence goes up and all of that. I can understand why people would take cocaine, but other people take downers. Like I used to buy Quaaludes. Quaalude is a cancer medication to stop pain. So if people would take Quaaludes, you're gone. You're just tired. You're just zoned out. Heroin has that same effect. And I always wondered about heroin. Why would you take something that takes you so far out? But I knew somebody who took heroin, and I asked, and they said, because when you take heroin, you have no problems. Everything's okay. You just sit in the corner and drool on yourself, maybe, but you don't worry about anything. Everything is just fine. Everything's okay. And again, it all goes back to changing your mental and emotional state. Why do people do this? And it's to change their mental state. They're not happy. There's drugs everywhere. If you would walk into most bars and just ask, if you want some heroin, you want some cocaine, you want some crack, you want anything like that, you want pills, for money. You got it? You'll find people pretty quickly. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere, you know.
I can get anything drug-wise. I'm telling you, I do this, like, you know what I mean? I'll die for this. I don't sell drugs because of my daughter, no. I'm not hustling for her. I hustle for myself. I mess with legit boss people in order to people to understand me because, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna short you. I'm not like that. I'm trying to improve on how much of a boss I can be.
Remember I told you I had some rules? The first rule, never underestimate anyone. The second rule, remember that every action, there will be a reaction. Number 11, never let your enemy know what you are thinking. Number 12, the only man who should be feared is God.
Well, they saying that it have a lot to do with gangs. That's what they blame it on, a lot of the gang activity. They get in there as young as 10 years old, that I know of, not really realizing what they're getting themselves into. Well, they trying to find a family, because a lot of them, either they without the father or they without the mother. And so they get hooked onto something with that because they want a family. They want somewhere where they feel like they love. So they go out in the street and find it. When you get into a gang, you feel like you're part of something. So I believe that that's a lot of times to where, though, that's what be the problem with that. They don't have no food, half of them. They don't have no roof over top of their head. So that's what they're gonna do. So some of them don't have no skills to work, so they're gonna steal, they're gonna kill each other. You know, half of them out here on drugs real bad. We got a drug epidemic to where, though, a lot of young people is out here popping the pills. Popping pills take money. So that got a lot to do with it as well, to take care of that drug habit. They need some more positive role models. They need more men to come out to show them in what they doing. Not show them how to sell drugs, show them how to get up and go get a job by modeling themselves, going to get a job versus standing out on a corner. So they need more leaders to get out there to help them.
Systems crush people. Individuals are not made to fight against systems. Even a company, even a city government. If you want to make a new world, you have to make new people. The same people that do the old stuff cannot make a new transition unless they change their mind and their hearts. So that's what we mean. We call it evolution over revolution. See, evolution takes over a long period of time, decades and centuries. So the human being has to evolve in order to make a better world.
How you doing, brother?
What?
How you feel today?
Good, I'm all right.
Did I hear you from Homewood?
From McKees Rocks.
McKees Rocks, okay, okay. So what's your outlook?
I mean, I'm just trying to take care of my daughter and, you know, trying to make a way for myself to be where I want to be in life.
Now, where's that? That's a good place to start.
Like, rich.
Rich. That's just it. What does rich mean?
You got what you want, got everything you need. Got snacks.
That's accurate. That's accurate. You got what you want, got what you need. So you don't particularly see rich as having a certain amount of money then?
Yeah, it don't always have to be a certain amount of money, but, I mean, you gotta live rich.
Now, what does that mean?
I mean, you gotta have, like, everything gotta be, like, you know, good about you, you know what I mean? Everything, there can't be no mistakes. It's a lot of money, you know, take care of my daughter.
So tell me what the way you think you're gonna get there.
Hustling.
Think hustling's it?
People does it just to have extra money. Everybody wants to have extra money and keep gaining money every minute of the day. But I mean, you can go to jail.
Right.
That's the only thing that, you know what I mean?
That's the only thing?
That's the only thing that's basically in a way of this.
Is that the only thing in the way?
Yeah.
I know a lot of hustlers in the grave, too, though.
Yeah.
You said your daughter, though, right?
Yeah.
Your daughter, right? So if you was in jail and you was dead, where'd I leave your daughter at? And then she's like the biggest piece of the puzzle. Well, you know.
She going, I mean, if I'm dead, I mean, there's nothing I can do. I mean, I taught her a lot. So if I do die, she's going to be smart.
How old is she?
A lot of stuff. 5.
Okay.
She knows stuff too. Like, she knows a lot of stuff.
You think she knows enough now to live her life without you for the rest of her life?
I mean, she got her mom.
Game. Right now, you working for the game. Right now, there's 100 other cats with the same mentality you have, trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do, the same way you're trying to do it. You feel me? And all y'all can't win. You know what I mean? I know you feel like you're going to be the one that win. Now, I'm not mad at you for that. You know what I mean? You got to feel like you're going to win if you're in the game. What I'm saying to you is you need to flip the game.
This was some of my crew. This is one of my guys. This is Chuck. He's serving life plus 20 in a maximum security prison underneath the ground. He's on something that's called no human contact. This is my man T, Big T. He was big too. Well, he was gunned down. This was Kung Fu. He was one of my personal bodyguards. He had to kind of leave the city to really not come back. This is one of my guys. He was like one of my pit bulls. He was one of my fighters. This is Lil Nelly. He ended up fighting this guy, and the guy got the drop on him, pulled out a 380 and shot him one time, and he was paralyzed from the neck down. But all of these guys on here are dead except for 2. This was me. You know, and this was me, you know what I'm saying? So this was me with like 19, this was me at like 21. I was known as Crazy Ted because one is that I was known for carrying big, you know, weapons. Like one was a sawed-off shotgun, which is a little bit unrealistic to carry on a day-to-day basis because it's just so big. I needed for people to think that I was gonna go as far as anybody would take me. It's funny because I'm known as Dr. Ted Sutton now, but if you Google Crazy Ted, my face is gonna come up. It seemed like it was something that was good to get into. You know, we were popular, people knew us. All of these things are things that happened to us at a young age. And so I had a chance to live the life almost as an older person at a young age. I actually carry these pictures around with me because, you know, sometimes I have to be reminded, you know, that I was given a second chance.
Most of the cases I deal with involve drugs, violence, and things of that nature. And because the money is the purpose of the drug business, you've got a lot of individuals who are compromised as a result. For example, a correctional officer who's charged with bringing drugs into the facility. He's paid by individuals on the street to bring the drugs in and other contraband into the system. He was arrested as a result of a wiretap, and that's in the state court. You also have the federal system, which is more feared by those who are on the street involved in criminal behavior, because in the federal system, they have a great deal more investigations as opposed to just the beat cop running around catching a guy on the street. So they have the wiretaps, they have the confidential informants. With the federal cases, the penalties are also far greater. And so most individuals are fearful of becoming involved in the federal system. Well, there's a lot of injustice in the system. It doesn't get it right. And so you do have a lot of innocent people who happen to be convicted after being given their due process. Sometimes, unfortunately, that conviction comes as a result of illegal prosecutorial work or police actions. And in Baltimore, we have seen recently a number of police officers who were involved in criminal behavior that led to other people being convicted and sent to prison. That is a big problem because the community loses any little trust they have in the system. They definitely work on statistics. It's a barometer of how good a police officer you are, that is how many arrests you've made, and if it can be for a gun and a large amount of narcotics, that's even the better. There is an incentive to arrest people even if they're not guilty. Since Freddie Gray a few years ago, we have seen somewhat of a reversal of that because the officers' feeling is that they themselves could be prosecuted for making arrests that they deemed legitimate. And so where the officers, many of them used to be proactive, many of them now are just sitting back, putting in their 8 hours and going home. And so in Baltimore, you've seen it's kind of a retrenchment in terms of the arrest. However, when it comes to the drugs and the guns, they get pats on the back. And so those arrests are always constant. Always.
So if you know that most of the people in this neighborhood who are dealing drugs are black, and that just happens to be a fact because of the arrest records, it would be silly to say, I'm going to ignore that because I don't want to be racially prejudiced. And so it's always like, what can you see? So if you stop somebody and he's got, a trunk full of heroin, he's going to be probably armed, dangerous, and really not want to be going to jail for this. He very well might want to kill you. And he may be very well armed, better armed than you are. So you may have a .45 and he's got an AK-47 assault rifle that could blow your car apart. You can't get rid of anything that's illegal. Anything that is made illegal, just, it's still out there to be purchased. Chances are, if there's 20 cars going, there's probably a shooting. There could be a bar fight that's really gotten out of hand, but if you're seeing that many cars, there could be a shooting, a knifing.
Anybody can go to jail anytime, so...
But when you put yourself in a position where you're at a higher risk, it's more likely to happen to you than somebody else. Yeah, it can happen to anybody, but you can't rationalize it with yourself by saying it can happen to anybody, right? Because it can. But if you hustling and you on the corner and somebody trying to rob you, the likelihood of you getting shot rather than me getting shot while I'm at work is 10 times higher.
You're right.
Feel me?
Everybody got their, what they want to do in life.
So I was you. I was 18, 19. You know what I mean? I had my gang. We did our thing, you know what I'm saying? Now, I was more muscle. I wasn't the hustler. My boys hustled. I stayed at money because my man was hustling, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it came to a place to where, of my crew, 3 cats is gone. I mean, I'm like, wow, like, you know what I mean? I'm really in this, you feel me? It came to a place to where, I had to decide what I wanted and what was going to get me what I wanted. And hustling wasn't going to do it. Hustling was only going to get me till I got knocked the next time, you feel me? Until somebody robbed me the next time, you know what I mean? Till my money was down, I'm always at a place.
I ain't letting nobody rob me.
Well, I mean, he won't shoot you then, you feel me? I'm taking 2 different paths to get there, you know what I'm saying? And one has high risk and one has low risk, you feel me? So my thing is for you need to find a path of least resistance, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna get you where you wanna be without adding as much risk, you know what I mean? Because the last thing you want is for your mom to be looking out over your casket.
I started hanging with some of these guys when I was like 15, playing basketball, down in the projects, Lafayette Courts, being in the area, Lexington Terrace projects. The real problem is that when you surround yourself with people who think alike, but everybody's kind of thinking some crazy stuff, it doesn't seem as insane. It kind of normalizes the insanity because everybody else is thinking the same thing. We were comparing guns. Oh, what kind of gun you got? What kind of gun you got, man? Well, I got this. Oh, man, I got the Desert Eagle. Yo, that ain't nothing. I'd be like, oh, man, I got the Glock that's with the laser dot. And so it normalized the insanity where somebody would say, man, this is crazy. And we wouldn't say it was crazy. We'd be like, nah, this is Tuesday. So I had parents that were good, parents that were positive, parents that were in, the church. But then when I went to school, so for 8 hours, I dealt with people that didn't think that way. And then when I left home from school, I dealt with some more hours after that. So we in the projects and, we kind of out here, if somebody say something, man, what you looking at? Yo, what you looking at? To be honest with you, for me, everybody looked at it as more protection. You don't really want to come to a gunfight with a knife. We would put the gun down if the next man was going to put the gun down. So that's kind of like the mentality that we had with it. So it may have been some other gangs, some other crews out there, some other neighborhoods here in Baltimore. First, it was split East Baltimore and West Baltimore. That's off the muscle. And I had guys, up in that area. Now it seems that the game has definitely changed. The rule has been money first. Paper over everything. So as long as I'm making paper, I can sell to that girl that's pregnant. I can sell to the children that's in a middle school. You know what I'm saying? I can do certain things. And I ask them, I'm like, all right then, tell me what your number is. They said, well, what your number is? What you mean? And I said, tell me when you get to this number as a drug dealer, when you out here slinging, whatever you doing to make your paper out here on the streets, tell me when you get to that, are you gonna quit? Like, is it $10,000, $15,000? $50,000, $100,000. What is your exit plan? Because see, if you don't, that means you don't have no exit plan. That means that you're waiting for the jump out boys, the stick up boys, or you're waiting for somebody to, extract you out of this. So that means you either waiting to get locked up or get killed. So that definitely means something definitely just happened, up here. And it's a little fresh, too. So they don't even have the tape out yet. This was definitely a crime scene, a shooting.
I got a homie that I went to school with, went to college with. He's a doctor. He makes more than any hustler you know, and he ain't hustling. You feel me? So, if it comes down to the paper, there's jobs that can get you the paper you want that you don't have to hustle, but you have to hustle to get that job. You feel me? Mm-hmm. He grew up in a family just like we did. Went to college, ate ramen noodles every day. You feel me? Then he did his residency. He worked his way up. This cat's making $250 a year. It's free and legit.
I make more than $250 a year. I know that. But how you want to double that?
And here's where most hustlers make mistakes at, right? You flip to eat the day. If you make $250,000 a year and you ain't got nothing at the end of the year, that was a bad investment,
That's what this is about. You gamble or you can lose it all and still be a hustler and make it back. And this wasn't my destination. I'm just here. This is what I am here for. Like, this is what I'm here.
So basically you let life happen to you. You didn't grab a hold of life. You let life happen to you.
Basically.
And now you're just riding the wave.
It's coming to me.
You're riding the wave. That's a bad place to be in, bro.
You can
decide
money.
though. No, but you can decide. Well, what's making money if you got nothing at the end of the day? You know what I mean? If your whole life is a gamble, you know what I mean, and you're always looking for the next big lick to flip. You know what I mean? Like you're not flipping into nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the number.
If you're a hustler, you'll make some money.
But that's the carnal mistake of a hustler. Yeah. Is you just live for the moment.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you live up with nothing.
You like to be flashy.
You live with nothing. You flashy, but you're never happy. You understand what I'm saying? You can never achieve
happiness.
You can never achieve happiness that way though, because you never have nothing. You always flipping. You always flipping, or you always on your next. You always looking for your next lick. You feel me? You never to a place where you can say, "Let's go on vacation." You feel me? Let's go lay on the beach. Can't do that because guess what? You always in flip mode. You can't think about it.
I want to do that stuff, but it's just like I gotta stay in Pittsburgh I don't want to go nowhere and live nowhere. This is the base spot. Like, I want to be in Pittsburgh, and
you can hustle just as hard legally.
I wish I could. Some kind of way I'll make the drug life into a legit business without nobody touching anything. Like, it just be legit.
What I'm saying to you though is, I'm talking about forget the drugs. Like, first of all, drugs destroyed your mom, right? Drugs destroy your family members in your community. So forget the drugs, bro. That's not helping. That's not helping you or nobody else.
This is who I am. This is what I need to do. This is what I'm on my way to.
I lost 40 cats I'm 40 years old. I lost 40 cats from the time I was 12 till now. Gone. You know what I mean? Some had big money, some had no money.
A lot of people, a lot of close friends.
Right.
My people I used to hang with, but
and it hurt.
It's down to zero because you can't trust people.
Because you can make a decision today and say
I could, but it's not right. It'll make me aggravated to not do what I want. Like what I'm saying. Like,
why can't you do what you want?
What I want is to be a hustler.
That's what you rather have than to straighten it out.
Yeah. I'm still gonna be a hustler and a gangster, whatever. But I'm legit, so like still gonna keep doing it till I be in jail for life.
to the KKK. If you want to join the Loyal White Knights of the KKK, visit our website at KKK White Power.
First message. Hello, my name is Brian, and I would like to join you. You can call me Rock if you want, whenever you want. White Power. Second message. Hello, I'm trying to join. Leave me a call back. My name is Riley. White supremacy. Third message.
These are your friends in Illinois, loving the South. We love it up here. And White Power.
Fourth message.
Me and my wife, we just want to know if we can join and how we can join. Give me a call back. White Power.
Fifth message. I just wanted to say to you guys that I love your organization. I think you guys do great things.
White Power.
Seventh message.
Hi, my name is Jeff. I'm trying to join your friends in Illinois.